Hello everyone, this is the Indian Chelsea fan, and yes, I am currently quite low because we have just ended our 13 match winning streak, and out of all the clubs in the world, we have ended that against Spurs. Yes, our London rivals, and that too at their home ground, which is supposedly the last fixture at White Hart Lane, at least in the Premier League, because they will be moving to the new stadium a couple of years from now and will be playing at Wembley next year. So the 3 point lane officially comes to an end for us, although the last 3.5 years have been really bad for us at their ground. Nevertheless, this time I thought that we would really do well because we are on a great run. However, that wasn't enough. I would not have been so disappointed if I would see that kind of effort from Chelsea, and if I have to tell that, okay, we were quite unlucky to lose. Yes, we did not get much luck either during the match today. However, we certainly could have played much better, or we should have played much better. There were other club managers and fans, contemplating the thought that Chelsea are getting an extra couple of days off during this busy Christmas period, so they do have an advantage. Well, the players or our coaching staff did not make advantage of it because we really started the match on the back foot. Well, the match was basically quite even in the first half. However, to my disliking, Chelsea did not play the way I wanted them to play. They started on the back foot, wanted to see what Tottenham Hotspur is doing, and then possibly react. But I believe our reaction was quite late, and Spurs actually surprised us or surprised Conte with Pochettino starting with three at the back, and their three at the back were, physically and even technically to some extent much better than our three at the back, in spite of we being informed, because Eric Dyer, Jan Vertonghen, and Toby Alderweireld are basically three terrific centre backs in my opinion. Huge, and they have technical ability as well, both while defending as well as attacking, and their wing backs really were terrific. And compared to Chelsea's team, well, we certainly matched them in formation, and we've been playing much better in this formation compared to any other team in the league. However, our wing backs were certainly going the wrong direction, constantly defending rather than attacking. And that was because of the wing backs Spurs had in Kyle Walker and Danny Rose. Danny Rose, in particular, was a bit too much for, I believe, Victor Moses throughout the game. Even Marcos Alonso was way off the pace today. I know that he's not at that level yet. However, I believe that he certainly has got the game practice in English Premier League and has been doing consistently. And he would certainly live up to the expectation at least for this game because we are having a break of a week and a half in the Premier League from now. So that was certainly disappointing. And the midfield, well, our midfield, it was expected that Cesc Fabregas will not be starting this game. However, in hindsight, I will have to tell that it was a mistake because Cesc Fabregas' passing ability is certainly underrated. Compare that to N'Golo Kante, who has been terrific the season and a half. However, his passing was really bad today. I don't know what happened to him. Not only was Victor Wanyama much stronger than him in midfield in the tackles, but Dembele and Wanyama together were easily cutting off the passes that Kante was trying. And even if they were not cutting off the passes that Kante was trying, his passes were certainly going elsewhere. I don't know why. Nemanja Matic, well, he had a much better game. He played, of course, in place of Cesc Fabregas. Compared to Kante, he played well. However, he takes too many touches of the ball, and it's too slow for the way Spurs or even for that matter a team like Liverpool would play. And we certainly need someone who can certainly be quicker in passing. And Kante probably was the guy who was supposed to do that job for us, and he wasn't able to do that. But if in case both of them don't turn up, we need to have a replacement, because in the first half we were constantly, cut down in the midfield by Wanyama and Dembele of Tottenham. And it was like a chess match to begin with both the teams, just waiting for what the other team would do. And we did not have really great chances, but yes, we did have one very good chance for Eden Hazard, and he was clear through on the left hand side with only Loris to beat. However, he snatched at the shot with his left foot for some reason, in spite of having time. Probably he did not realize, and the ball went wide. If he had even given a second more thought on that, I'm sure that he could have at least hit the target, and would have been a great chance for Chelsea and an early lead as well. But it was not to be. And towards the end of the first half, there was an instance where Christian Eriksen got the ball, and then I was thinking, okay, please stop him. We don't need Christian Eriksen to cross the ball, because he can certainly pass and cross the ball. And they didn't do that, right? However, we were lucky not to concede. But in stoppage time of first time, he again gets the ball, and this time exactly the same thing happens, but Christian Eriksen gets a fantastic cross in. He was not stopped. I think it was Marcus Alonso's job to actually stop him, and then possibly even Gary Cahill, but they didn't stop him. And at the far post, we had Victor Moses and Aspilicueta. So Victor Moses actually played Deli Ali on, and Deli Ali just jumped up, and there was no one actually fighting for the ball, next to him, and he got a free header, and Courtois missed it, and Spurs scored. Yes, in the return leg, while at Stamford Bridge this season, we had scored just before half time. This time it was Tottenham. Well, 1-0 at half time away is not a really bad, score line. However, I was certainly down because of the fact that knowing Christian Eriksen does cross a ball, we made that mistake, especially towards the end of the first half, and possibly it was too late, for a goal to be scored against us, when Conte possibly could not get enough time to change his plans and implement it into the team during half time. Still, during halftime itself, I would have made change, because I was beginning to notice that we are giving too much space to Tottenham in midfield, and we need to cramp up the midfield with possibly the introduction of Cesc Fabregas in place of maybe Pedro, who was really very bad, and along with Hazard with his chances. But Hazard, okay, fine, he's a class act, so I did not want to replace him. Okay, anyway, the second half started. In the second half, to begin with, we started with a bang. We got back-to-back 2 to 3, half chances. Alonso got a great cross from the left-hand side, which was a low cross, I believe, which was turned into a corner. And then when the corner, was taken by us, I believe Diego Costa, got a header somehow, which kind of bounced onto the pitch in the penalty area and went to Hazard. Hazard could take maybe a millisecond more and aimed at the ball towards the goal, but he didn't do that, and his reactionary header went wide. A second great chance missed by Hazard. This was again followed by another great chance, for Diego Costa, but he kicked his ball well over. It was a great chance again. So we missed, a couple of good chances early in the second half as well. However, you know, when Chelsea were dominant and we were still 1-0 behind, that's when we gave the ball away, and a repeat of the first goal happens. Yes, it was, I believe, the 53rd or the 54th minute when Eriksen gets the ball on the right hand side, same as the first goal. and possibly a little bit further. So that would give an extra warning signal. Marcus Alonso this time tries to get a challenge, but the challenge was too late for Ericsson, and Gary Cahill, for some reason, just watches Ericsson cross the ball, while Aspilicueta and Moses at the far post again are unable to jump along with Dele Alli, and Dele Alli in between them heads the ball through Thibaut Courtois. And I was like, oh no, it's 2-0 against Spurs away, and this would certainly end our winning streak. But okay, let's at least draw the game. But after the 54th minute also, I did not see Conte make any change. I don't know whether he was too surprised or he doesn't trust his players on the bench, because I still believe that what Eriksen did to Chelsea, Fabregas could have at least tried doing to Spurs, and I'm sure he'll be longing to go at that point in time. But he was not brought on. Instead, Conte waited till the 65th minute and to bring Willian in place of Marcus Alonso. Well, at least it was an attacking substitution, at least 10 minutes later than what I had thought. But Willian was on the pitch, and I thought, okay, that would also bring another change, because Willian coming in for Marcus Alonso, one would have to go to wing back, and that was Pedro. So who would take an attacking position, or maybe someone in midfield, so that we could change a little bit of formation as well, and keep Tottenham guessing. But again, Antonio Conte, for some reason, I don't know, waits so much for substitutions to be made, and he waited till the 79th minute, and between the 60th minute and the 79th minute, we hardly did anything. It was cruise control for Tottenham, although we should have gone all out attack with a proper 3-5-2 formation with Batshuayi up front, Fabregas in midfield, with Pedro on the wing. But no, only Pedro was in the wing, and in the 79th minute, it was Cesc Fabregas who was finally brought on for N'Golo Kante. And I believe it was too late, because almost 80 minutes are up. You're 2-0 down to your rivals, and possibly ending the winning streak as well. And not going for striker, even at that point, was a bit too much for me to accept. But anyway, maybe he doesn't trust his players, as I said, or the players were not fit enough. Even Hazard really took few knocks in the first half, so I thought that is why his performance is low today. But he wasn't taken off. Batshuayi is certainly not given any trust from Conte. But yes, the game continued, and we had another couple of half chances, possibly in the next 5 to 6 minutes, and Batshuayi was finally brought on in the 86th minute, I believe, and it was obviously more of a formality for us not to lose 2-0 and get at least one solitary goal against Tottenham, and not feel ashamed, although we should not be really. But yes, it was a result that was finally 2-0 away, and it is hard to accept. But yes, kudos to Conte and his team that we were able to go through this 13-match winning streak. However, I'm certainly very, very disappointed with the approach and the wayward passes that we made after welcome break compared to other teams in the league. At least the other managers thought so. So we should have used it to our advantage. And the fact that we are on top of the league, with a winning streak record in mind, but yes, we have just equaled that and not broken it. So that's okay. But we are just 5 points ahead in the league, and I believe we should certainly come back stronger and win it. Okay, thank you. That's about it.